man. Gaming on this is terrible.
Hello and welcome to Retro Bay After Hours. I'm Brian Watson here with Mik, owner of Retro Bay Cafe. This is our Resident Evil 4 roundup, and we're here with our regular roundup guests. There's Tom, our producer, and Ross.
Hello.
Who I know last time you didn't like being called like a resident guest.
Well, there was a joke, wasn't it, attached to one of the characters when you were in the village that supposedly looked like Mike and then me.
They all look like me.
They all look
Oh,
like
it was
Was it not? Here's a Mik. Let's count all the Miks. Oh, there's another Mik. And we're not going to count the Miks anymore. Well, there's a Ross Mik.
Well, am I like a hybrid of you?
I think it was just because of the bald head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Offensive. No, mate.
Sorry.
It's not offensive.
We've finished Resident Evil 4. Does that make you happy?
Yes. Just yes.
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 It's a weird one. I think we talked about this on our podcast that we keep using the word slog, and it has felt like a slog, but it's not negative. It's not a bad game. It's a fantastic game, but it has felt so hard to get through it.
I never thought I'd get to the end of it.
No.
Especially during one of the boss fights. Just one of the boss fights.
Yeah, we will talk about that. I think it's one of those games where you plan to play every week. Because it just didn't. Or if you do play, you play half an hour here or there.
An hour max. I think it'd be what?
Behind the curtain, we play about 4 to 5 hours in a block.
Very short, well, no, in a 5-hour block, but in short space of time.
No?
No. But
yeah, so it hasn't been particularly fun on that
draining. Mentally and exhausting, I think is the word I would use for it. Mentally exhausting.
I've got some stuff that I want to get to, but I'll just quickly ask what your first opinions are from watching. And you can get to your criticism. You said
you can straight with the criticism if you want. Constructive criticism.
I think the criticism was it seemed to take you so long to do things because you were terrified of the ramifications of not taking time. So it was like the circular, and that's why I think it took a little bit longer.
I agree. Definitely there was bits when you would get to another part of a village or something like that, and where I'd normally just go right out there, where I was creeping about because you just didn't know how many were going to appear.
That first battle in the village, which I think was fantastic, and you do normally go straight in. In fact, how many villages there was really took me by surprise when we were playing.
It was probably
we didn't play
most.
the demo for that reason, because that was the demo. But it was every time you turned, there's just like 10 of them coming at you, which is not what you expect playing the other Resident Evil.
No, exactly that. It was probably the most villagers in one go as well, was in that first section as well, would you say?
Yeah, when you jumped, there's one point you jumped through a window and you opened the door and they all just
there was about 8 of them in the house or something like that. And it did seem like there was probably the most in one go. Not the hardest, like where they were all spread about, because they were all out at you at one time.
Yeah.
But, definitely the most.
I do think that...
Amazing start to the game.
Yeah, I think that's the best bit of the entire game.
I knew. After that, I was like, this is going to be hell.
It sets the tone.
It does.
But I don't think it ever meets that tone again, because that is it's why it was the demo. It's why it just never... I won't say never lives up to it. It sounds bad. Once again, it's not bad, but it just doesn't... That bit is so good. And then when he comes out with the chainsaw, it just...
I think it's a strange way of making the game, because games generally get harder. But that is just a spike, like at the start. And I think 5 has that in it as well.
Oh yeah,
there's this bit...
The building at the beginning.
Which I remember playing it in co-op and thinking, we've got on the 2
That was the demo as well.
Was it?
That was because I played the demo of that, and that's all that was, and I was like, this game's amazing. And then you get it and get past that bit and go,
Actually, from what I remember, 5 is quite like 4, isn't it? It's like the beats.
5 is I think they tried to replicate a lot of 4, but make it more like Gears of War.
Yeah.
So
That
it's
was very
more
popular.
fast and action. And then on 6, they don't know what they're doing, but that's a treat for Mick because he's never played it.
And also, Mick doesn't know what he's doing either, so pretty standard.
There's some things I want to talk about, but we're going to come into them in a different way because I don't think you know this, Ross, but we had guests here who came out of their way to meet us.
Oh.
They did.
They're our number 1 and number 1.5 fan.
Was it number 2 and 1.5?
No one wanted to be number 2. So we have a guy called Mark who comments on things, and we have a guy called Captain Anorak
Oh.
who travelled
legend.
all the way to come and meet us. And he even brought his special edition
Resident Evil 4 chainsaw controller for us to have a look at.
So we can get a picture up. How would you put a picture, Tom?
Yeah.
Yeah, how cool was that?
Amazing, yes.
So this is Mark's question for Mick.
I mean, what were your reactions when it came to like when you saw that burning cow that came round that corner? When I watched it, I was just laughing my arse off.
What the hell's going on here? Why is there a burning cow? Like, just in general, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah, we can.
Why is there a cow on fire running towards me and also a bit of hunger?
Oh yeah, you were talking about burgers all the time, weren't you?
Yeah.
He said it needed more burgers.
Yeah. And flaming cow.
Shall we enjoy the flaming cow one more time?
Yeah, let's see the flaming cow. And let's just see Mick's
Farmyard animal
farmyard
tricks.
friends. All of them.
Hi.
Shit! Oh, what? The cow attacked me! This is ridiculous!
Yeah, it's definitely random because that was resources this time.
Yeah.
Ah, got attacked by a chicken.
A chicken! Okay. Bear traps there. Get him away.
A peaceful thing.
Oh! fucking horrible. Is that it done? Killing me.
Deliverance. So there was a lot of animals that decided to take advantage of
Was,
Mick.
yeah. I wasn't. And I didn't expect any of them when they happened either.
What was your favourite?
Probably the cow.
Yeah, cow's fantastic. Yeah. I did see
I think
that
it was everything leading up to the cow, where I threw the grenade, the boy ducked, blew up the wifey, and then the cow came running at me in flames.
And he was there for the rest of the game, wasn't he?
Did I hear right that you can save the cow?
Yeah, I've seen somewhere that... So the cow must always get set on fire in the game. Did that happen in the first one? I can't remember the original.
I
I
can't remember a cow in the original.
Yeah.
It was.
How could you save the cow?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
Bucket
Put
of
the
water.
fire out.
I was thinking it was. Did you know? Or it was maybe not save the cow, but you stopped it being on fire and running at you.
Yeah, one of the good things in these scenarios is if you're going to say something, have the evidence with you. Because now everyone wants to know how you saved the cow.
I thought I heard that. I thought somebody had told me that.
Do you save it with bullets?
Possibly.
Or a knife?
You save
Kill
it
the
from
cow.
the fire by killing it.
Save it for itself.
Save it from going in flames.
By the way, I'll just mention that something else. Yous love the knife. Yous are just you adore the knife. Every time you meet that merchant, it's like, fix the knife.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like,
Why
the
do you
knife
not love the
comes in
knife?
it.
Knife's great.
That's the best.
Nah, bullets are better than knives.
Yeah, but
He can... If he misses with the knife, he doesn't lose a knife. If he misses with a bullet...
yeah, I lose a bullet.
he loses a bullet.
Apart from the bolt gun thing.
See, what was your opinion on the bolt gun? Because I think that's a really good weapon.
It teased you. I seen something where they were saying it's the best weapon to get early on in the game because you can then save so much money on ammunition. Then I watched your videos and thought,
I mean,
I said this to
watching me play with certain weapons isn't a reason not to play it and use
I'm
those
using
weapons
it
yourself.
again.
Yeah, I said, oh, you're not here.
No, man.
You know better than that.
Oh, actually, that's so that last bit of voice was Mark, but Captain Anorak. I know you're a we were trying to start a beef between you and Captain Hammer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Don't
I
know if you
think
know
he's
this.
intriguing.
He is.
Have you got the one? His thoughts on the channel. That one.
Right.
This lines up.
It's so refreshing having a non-polished, a very rough and ready sort of like game series to run through, because for a lot of people, like myself included, when you get frustrated at a game and you just can't, you just want to give up or something, and then you've got Mik, which, bless him, he struggles with the Resident Evil games, but he's soldiering on and he's getting there, and it's.
If it wasn't for doing it, I wouldn't. That was a nice ending to that
So
one.
that's we're definitely not polished.
No, yes, are really. Like, there's lovely intros. Oh, actually, that's all. What Tom does.
The production is polished.
So we can't even say that it's like polishing a turd or anything like, because we're not polished at all.
What's your phrase, Tom?
You can't polish a turd, but you can laminate one.
You can laminate one.
That's not your phrase, is it? You can roll it in glitter.
You can laminate one. Oh wow! I bet that stinks.
Right, let's go to another clip of Tom laminating this shit.
Brilliant.
Is that really your phrase? I didn't think it was.
Yeah, now I think about it, probably not the best idea.
It'll stink as it goes through that because it's hot.
This is months of work we use. Editing your stuff, this is what it's done.
I'm a broken man.
Okay. Tom, what did you think? In general.
In general, yeah, I'm.
Can't polish a turd.
Yeah.
You liked the knife, didn't you?
The knife.
Oh, don't slag off the knife. You'll honestly, you'll get knifed.
And the original pistol. Don't mock either of those things.
The original pistol was fantastic. That was a good gun.
What do you think, Tom?
What did I think?
Yeah.
In general, the whole thing.
Just sitting in the room with us, did you think?
Bigger jumps, like Mik nearly hitting the ceiling a few times, were quite funny. Yeah, the momentum dropped off mid to end of the game, and I'm just agreeing with what you guys say. It did seem to become a bit of a slog by the end, but you seem to still be enjoying it. It's just
That was the problem. You were watching going, this game's so good, but I just think it was too good for us.
The ninth death on Salazar. I hated the game.
Oh, well, okay, let's quickly go to Mark. Had a question about that.
oh yeah,
Bottom one there.
yeah. Here we go.
And did you ever think when it came to, was it Salazar, the boss battle?
Little dude.
The little dude, yeah. Did you ever think, I'm never ever going to do this?
Yes.
And also the drop of the,
yes.
I'm going to go to easy and very easy and just carry on with the easy
So-
level. I literally thought that you guys would have stopped and just came back again at some point.
What do you think about Salazar?
Oh, I've got to hate it. Absolutely hate it. That boss was horrible. It was just.
Are you okay, Mik?
No, I'm traumatized. Sorry,
While
but
Mik's
yeah.
pulling himself together, let's watch it. Let's watch the highlights of Mik's fight with Salazar.
Death.
How do you like it?
Fuck's sakes.
In the corner.
Fuck's sakes. Piss me off. Fuck's sakes. Fuck's sakes. Fuck's sakes. Oh, that's.
I feel like you die the same way every time, Mik.
No, that's a totally different way. Oh, for God's sakes, I'm walk. I threw one right in his mouth as well.
That one was unfair. So that was a lot of deaths. As you can see on the clip there, halfway through I started doing emails.
Yeah, you did look like you got bored.
No, I just started doing work. I thought we were going to be here a long time. It was, filming-wise, it was 50 minutes, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Easily 50 minutes. It was
Well,
50
the problem
minutes
was, it was-
between.
I was getting so far into it every time.
And the problem that you had, which this boss was not made for the way you play
No.
games, is every time he came at you with his mouth open, you thought, I've got enough time to finish him off.
Yep.
And then he had that one-hit kill, which I did think was unfair. I don't like any one-hit kills. I don't know what you think about one-hit kills, but where it's that simple, where it's just like, oomph, I've got you. And it can come from anywhere if you're not focused on him. But your strategy of his mouth's open, I'll just shoot him, and he will die before he eats me, never paid off.
No, it didn't.
I noticed that with the sniper rifle, like,
On that bit there.
yeah.
That was
After
an
dying-
accident. That was an accidental opening of a gun, I think. That one.
I thought you were just taking your time. Like,
Well, no,
smile,
it
you
wasn't.
son of a bitch. You know, a la Jaws too.
Well, we didn't see it on that clip there, but when he actually kills him, I just said to him before the battle, do you want to put it on easy? Like, no one's going to judge you. And he thought, no, I'm having one more go.
Yeah, I said I'll do it
And
this
he's
time.
on the stairs shooting him, and he opens his mouth, and Mick's standing there and I shout, run! Just run! And he runs away. And then the next time it happens, he kills him. So it was just not made for you, that boss.
No.
And Captain Alarak told us that was the hardest boss as well.
Well, he agreed that he
agreed.
found that the hardest boss as well.
Do you know the secret about Salazar? No. So
Drop it on us.
if you find a golden egg
Mm-hmm.
and throw it at him, he loses 75% of his health.
I'm sure you could stumble upon that at any point, couldn't you?
All you had to do was turn right and Mick turned left.
Oh.
He doesn't like adventuring, do you, Mick?
No, not at that point.
But
not
did
with
you
him.
know that before fighting
I
that
did.
boss?
He did, but he couldn't.
I wouldn't tell him because I thought
Like, you did tell me. By the point,
by the point you couldn't
do
go
it.
back.
I was going to say after the fish incident, where he was like, "Oh, go to the water and
Yeah,
do
shoot-
that."
shoot
I
that
thought he
fish.
would have like taught you at some point after that was unobtainable.
What fish?
Oh, well,
incident?
yeah.
Fish incident. Do you want me to
Yeah,
refresh
I
your
don't
memory?
know. I don't know what fish incident you mean.
We can watch it as well.
No part of me wants to get on that boat.
I'll go and check. So it'll probably say no. Actually, but there. Get that up.
That fish.
Yeah, kill those fish.
Shoot them rather than.
Yeah, just get your gun. Definitely shoot them.
Whoa! Did you know that was going to happen? That's a paddling. Brilliant.
What a meanie!
What a meanie indeed. That was like. There was no need for that.
You found an article about it, didn't you?
Yeah, like the next day or the day after it, there was something came up as a notification on my phone. Veteran Resident Evil 4 players are fooling new Resident Evil 4 players with this one thing, and I knew without even clicking it what it was.
But I like the fact you didn't even question Brian asking you to shoot the fish. You went, yeah, sure.
I like the fact I'm a veteran Resident Evil 4 player. Yeah, you did just do that without question. Later on, you did nothing I said. As we got deeper
Yeah,
into
the
it.
trust,
then you
yeah,
learn
the trust
from-
had been broken.
Is that how it works?
Mike doesn't learn things.
Right, okay.
Can I just say earlier, you know, when you were talking about all the animals attacking him and stuff, if you unpack what happened there, you told him, I think it was you, go and kill that old granny who was just basically doing some work. You stab, like you're meant to be this highly trained FBI agent or whatever the hell you are,
Yeah.
like nails, and you're stabbing some old granny who's just like,
From behind.
yes. I don't think they were possessed at that point.
Oh, they were.
Maybe you're the monster.
Maybe you were the trigger. You killing that old lady.
Maybe
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
the whole-
Resident Evil because
You're the evil
evil
resident.
is in Residents of You. Mm-hmm. Wow.
That's why that guy came out with the chainsaw. He's like,
And then he
that
set
was
his cow on fire.
Yeah, I think I tipped Chainsaw Man over the
It
edge.
all makes sense now.
Okay. Yeah, it's all us.
Wow.
Yeah, what did you think about stealth?
very concept of it.
Stealth's a dirty word to use.
Stealth is a dirty word. I mean, I go in sneaky, like you said.
Sneaky.
I have a little look around,
Alright.
and then I see a
Killing
blind,
ready.
I'm like, nah, sod that, bang.
It was really,
Bang, 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 bang.
It was frustrating sometimes watching your stealth attempts. And I've said before, this is not me. I know you call me a backseat driver, but if I was playing stealth, the videos would be even worse for you to watch because it would be 20 minutes of me slowly moving
Sweat just
back.
pouring off you like.
Just to kill a granny. Like, that would be it. So I'm not going to criticise you on that front, but your stealth it's non-existent.
I don't really do stealth. I mean, it's not news to
It's the
anybody.
thing that you would get into the crouch, 2 steps, then sprint.
The problem with that is the control. Like I do, it's just the way I lean on a controller with my finger, and it just when you do that and it goes push it down further and you're already running. I mean, there's a massive example of that. Of my
Okay, yeah, well, this is my favourite clip of the entire game.
Parry.
The doctor is here.
Fucking doctor.
Oh, you fucking...
I finally done.
Stupid bastard.
Oh, there's a woman now as well. Oh, Jesus balls, man. Oh, I hit the thing too hard. I was crawling under it, and I went. I hit run accidentally.
You're doing so great, Mick. So, yeah, that's. I don't think there's. If you were going to say to someone, "What is our channel?" That is
The
it.
clip is probably it. Yeah, the calamity.
That
of
is
it.
definitely it. It's got everything. We get 2 bear traps, 2 missed bullets. You get donkey punched by the old woman, and then you tried to parry. You tried to stealth. You were so proud of yourself with the parry as well, and then tried
I think
to
it was
stealth
because
under
I was
a bomb.
like trapped in a bear trap and you could see him walking behind me and I'm like trying to get the bear trap out as he's sneaking. I didn't hear any of that because I struggle to hear anything.
Yeah, we found out this is Resident Evil 4, and halfway through this, that Mick can't hear the game.
At all.
can barely.
Not the subtle
Chainsaws.
noises in the background.
So there's loads of times I go, Mick, is that something? He goes, nah, it's not. I go, well,
Like
it
that-
is. I can
that
hear
was-
a chainsaw. And then straight after that clip, as if it couldn't get any worse, you managed to get yourself to the house.
It was just the mansion.
And yeah, and we thought, we'll go and hide in there. Let's do that.
Go inside and lock it. Go in there.
We've been told since that originally when you went in there, it was just a toilet in the original game. But they added a man having a shit. Just for us.
Great.
Do you think it would have been funnier if he looked down, he didn't have any trousers, if his trousers were at his ankles and he fell over?
Definitely be funnier.
I don't want to say any bits.
I don't think that's the vibe they're going for.
They would have had to done quite a lot of work to the sprites, considering that would
Yeah.
be the only bit. I love visiting toilets in games, by the way.
Oh, okay, right. That you've piqued my interest.
So there's a game called Deus Ex. You ever played that?
Yeah.
So I had the PlayStation version, probably the most, like, it's not the best way of playing it. And from memory, there was a bit where in your base, you had 2 toilets. And I would just sneak around the toilets, right? And then I remember it blew me mind because all the people who were setting missions were like saying, we're not giving you any missions because you've been sneaking around the toilets and stuff. End of anecdote.
So what happened in the game was they went, you're a weirdo pervert.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah.
You're
I
getting no
think HR
missions.
got involved in everything.
Right, Right, I want you to work out your top 5 toilets.
All right, I'll have a good think about it.
In-game toilets, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, okay. Did you give us your criticism, or was it that we just take too long?
That I took too long sneaking about. At the
You say
start.
to you, I don't encourage you to go any faster. So it's fine.
No, but I get bored of sneaking like, right, okay, I've had a look now and I don't know.
No,
what's
it's
going
the
on
beginning
anyway.
of episodes when we stand still for 5 minutes. Even I've thought we really should move on, and we just try
Oh
and talk
yeah,
about
the
other
bits where I
things.
didn't really want to go ahead with anything. Yeah, because I knew there'd be like 50 enemies, and I had 4 bullets.
A suitcase full of eggs, though.
Knife.
Oh, I knife
What about
here.
we've got 2 knives?
Yeah, I've got 2 knives. Got
At the end, we get 2
Jack
knives.
Trousers knife.
Is that like a
first.
sitcom, My Two Dads, but My,
My
Two
Two
Knives?
Is there a sitcom called My Two Dads?
Yeah.
It used to
Alright,
be.
okay.
It had that guy from Aliens in.
Yeah.
You know, the one that sent them down the river, the bastard. Google it.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Oh no, I believe
yeah,
they're
right.
right. Because they're so confident that they know they're right.
One had a mullet and one was prim and proper.
Yeah, one was meant to be
Oh, so it was
like,
the odd
Princess.
couple with a child.
like
with a
yeah,
child,
can you
yeah.
imagine if you were a kid? And
But
like,
it wasn't.
Was one of them a bit of a quirky
Cool guy.
artist? Or?
Were they together?
Who? No, the two
Dads,
dads.
they weren't,
No,
were they?
it
It
wasn't
wasn't like it
80s,
would
they
be-
would never do that in the 80s.
No,
But
that's what I thought. But if it was remade now, there would be probably.
I don't know, because
I
I
don't
don't
think
think
you'd be
that
allowed
is
to make a
dynamic.
show like that now.
I would
I
be
think
like
you'd
My
have-
Two Dads, fine.
Yeah, it just
What's the problem?
There's no gimmick there. In the 80s, massive gimmick.
Yeah.
Like 3 Men and a Baby.
Yeah, with the ghost. Remember
Yeah, in the
that?
window.
Spooky
yeah.
ghost, which was late. I found out.
It would
that
be
it
a
just-
cardboard
crew
cutout,
member.
wasn't it?
No,
No,
it's
cardboard
a cardboard cut of Ted
Is it?
Danson
All right, okay. Oh yes, I have seen
in
that.
a tuxedo. Okay. I feel like we're acting as if we've just played Resident Evil 3. We're trying to do lots of things to avoid talking about
Oh,
Resident Evil 4, but
I think
I
we're
think,
doing a
we've,
pretty
I
good
think
job.
we've worn ourselves out of Resident Evil 4, to be honest. Shall we talk about... I was going to ask about weapons, but you know our favourite weapon, knife and pistol.
Yeah, original pistol. I did like the shotgun when I had bullets for it. The Magnum when I had bullets for it. It was pretty good. Apart from when I reloaded it at one point and then shot a guy with it with the 2 bullets. Well, I shouldn't have, but never
He
mind.
thought he had the pistol out.
oh,
He had the Magnum out.
the precious bullets for the most powerful weapon in the gun.
Yeah.
Wasted on just some normal dude.
Well, it wasn't a normal dude. The first one didn't kill him. And then so I shot him with a second
No,
one.
no, I think he was going down, but he just thought he should have.
Well, because I
Make
didn't
sure.
expect it. Well, I didn't expect it to kill him with one because I didn't think it was a Magnum. He was buying one of the big guns, so it wasn't a total loss.
Let's talk about the bosses. You mentioned
Bosses.
You mentioned
Salazar.
Salazar before,
Yeah.
but let's just quickly go through them because I think there was a lot of your frustrations were out of these bosses. First, we've got the big lad, which is Mendez.
Mendez. Oh, the Father Mendez, the beardy boy.
Yeah.
Oh, he was annoying. I didn't like him at all.
So,
So he was probably the second hardest boss I feel in the game.
he had some really basic mechanics, but they once again did not go into your wheelhouse of being patient.
And it was more there didn't seem to be like a rhyme or reason to when he was picking up the fiery boards to throw at you or one of the big blow up
Yeah,
things.
I don't think there was that much of a.
There was no
what is it?
pattern.
Yeah, there wasn't a pattern, but all you had to do was dodge until one of those appeared.
Yeah, but the string and struggle with the dodging was so I'd come left and back, and then I'd end up coming too far back, and I'd be in the fire, which would then make me come out and I'd be on fire, and I get hit by another one in the face. It's too annoying.
It was
If it
very
was without the
much.
fire around the back of me, it would have been simpler for me.
So if the game was just easier, it would have been easier.
Yeah, pretty much. So that was
Agreed.
he was definitely the Father Mendez.
Salazar. You like
Salazar. He was the hardest, without a doubt. For such a little dude to start off with as well.
We did mention him before, so we'll move on to.
But actually, the one quickly on Mendez, the creepiest part of that was he kept his face.
yeah, became all the kind of creatures.
All the bits, but then had his face. So it was just like looking at what I'd look like if I was one of those weird monsters.
So that was what.
That's probably, yeah.
What about Jack Krauser, as we know him, Trousers?
It wasn't too bad. At least the one good thing with Krauser was you knew when you'd hit him and you knew when you could hit him, especially in the second one.
This was something that we found quite frustrating, especially with Salazar, is you would shoot him, there'd be zero reaction.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that in games.
No.
Sometimes he would be then down the bottom when I'm wandering, running around the top, not knowing where he was, and then realised, well, I have to go down and stab him in the face because he's stunned on that one bit. But it had no indication you didn't see him fall after you shot him.
But it's not even that I don't mind that as much, because at least it's a recognition as he's hurt. It's when he comes running at you and you shoot, and zero reaction.
Yeah.
And I just find that in games quite... even. It doesn't have to be that it slows him down. I don't mind his momentum not shifting, but just something, body part moves or something, so you know, I've actually connected with something.
Would you like an energy bar? Would that, or is your beef the fact that it's just
I think
not
if he gave
you
it a
don't know
flinch or something.
Yeah, just so you know that actually you're doing something of worth.
Well, an energy bar then?
Then the problem with an energy bar is then that's what creates Mik. That's what creates, if I stand here and shoot, that energy bar will run out. So if he sees us a bit, that's what would that's the mentality.
But I can't see why you
Mik's
couldn't.
got.
We've got an energy bar. Why can't they have an energy bar?
But they do have an energy. You just can't see
We just
it.
can't see it. Yeah.
I think it's just that reaction that you've hit
Yeah, if you
actually
see it
matters.
flinch, like
Because I think sometimes you shot him in the face and sometimes you shot him in the eye on the side, and you're going, and I don't think he reacted to either. You go, am I facing, do I need to hit the eye? Do I need to hit him? It didn't happen that often, but I think Big
Well, it
Lad
was a bit
Mendes
mostly-
had the same as well. I
Yes,
think he was
yeah,
a bit,
absolutely.
you'd shoot him, and sometimes you shoot him in the face and there wouldn't even be any mark or anything like that, which you go, am I supposed to shoot him, or am I supposed to just avoid him for the entire game, battle bit?
But begs the question, what you're actually firing at people? You know, like the guns and stuff.
Knives.
I know.
firing knives from a gun.
I moved that.
Yeah. It's not good though.
So yeah, Krauser, I thought it was an interesting battle.
Because you fight him twice, don't you? So
Yeah, and then one's kind of like keeps developing.
yeah, yes. And that one was a bit frustrating with
The very last
the
one.
very last one when you got him. It was fine when you were up on the turrety bit of the castle, and he started changing, and then you definitely knew if you were hitting him or not because he put a big bony arm out, and you'd shoot that and go tink. Like
Yeah,
it
that's a
wasn't
perfect
hitting.
example. You
Yeah,
knew
and
that
then
you
were
weren't
hitting him in the
hitting
face. But even in the first battle though, when you were doing the bits and you would either stab him or shoot him, you would see him flinch and there'd be blood, so you knew that was a hit. But I suppose got through them all. What other bosses?
And then we have Del Lago, the big fish.
The big fish. It's sort of one that I don't think you could fail on, really, is it? It was more equipped.
If you managed it.
Yeah, but I didn't though.
You
It's
didn't
unlimited. Eh?
You didn't die at any point.
No,
did you?
something not during that. Because you got unlimited harpoons, so as long as you hit him and you did the quick time move, I think at one point when he was coming towards you, there was a quick time movement.
We didn't even. I think you didn't even need to do that. Like you got penalised with a little bit of energy loss.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did seem quite an easy battle
Considering
compared
that
with what you have later on.
Yeah, absolutely. Who are the ones?
And then you have Big Troll with El Gigante, which luckily we saved the wolf dog who came and helped us out.
That one was.
He didn't want to save the wolf dog.
That is not true at all. That's not true. You told me I had to, and at no point did I say I didn't want to.
I did tell you you had to. Though.
Yeah, you did tell me I had to. Which part of me then thought, okay.
So
Challenge
we were told
accepted.
by Captain Anorak that when he plays Resident Evil 4 and gets to that bit, he buys the rocket launcher just before that bit and kills him with one hit. How does that make you feel?
He's a collector of treasures and enjoys going and
Do you
speaking
think
to
there's any scenario where you would have enough money to buy a rocket launcher?
that early on.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. No, that's a lot of treasure hunting. Which I think if I played it through the second time, knowing what I do know, I would go for a lot more treasures. But there was some bits where you'd battle, get the bits that were just lying about and just get out of there to the next bit, because you knew there was another battle coming and you was just get out of it
I think it's
Get to the
also
next bit.
conscious people are watching. Because
Well, that's exactly it. Does anyone want to
Oh,
watch?
Willie, what about the episode where he spends the entire thing
Rat,
hunting
yeah.
rats?
Yeah.
Was that an entertaining
Well,
episode?
again,
for
I'm
you?
gonna sell Brian down the river here by saying you would have carried on doing them, I think. But it was you saying that it's not good viewing.
That rat definitely wasn't.
Well, I mean, it was 15
Would you
minutes of
like-
my life that I'll never ever get back. But
So what you're really doing is giving them excuses, I think.
But let's not forget the spinels and the treasures and the rats. Those ones are different. You know, were different things. Or the treasures were slightly separate to that. You'd buy. I didn't fully understand why there was a merchant there though. That
he's a cool character. Everyone loves him.
and it seems so, but I just.
So should
It
we talk
almost
about
didn't fit.
our theory?
I think we probably should speak about our theory
So
here.
we have a theory, and it's it's only us,
It is on the
that
us.
we think Sadler and the merchant are related.
Is this behind the looking glass people sort of moment where you just like have loads of
Well,
There's a bit when he
Yeah.
walks in after it's later on where Ashley's with you and he walks in, he possesses Ashley to turn the gun on you. And when he
two
walks in, he sounds like the merchant.
he says something,
And we both went, oh, the merchant. And then it was Sadler.
and it was Sadler. Yeah,
We've went back since to watch and we can't find the bit.
yeah. It doesn't sound like him.
Was this the end of a 5-hour session maybe as well?
But we
So we've decided to ignore the evidence
and still go with that
and
as our
say
theory,
that we think that they're brothers.
Controversial.
or at least cousins.
And that's why the merchant can get around without being killed.
Yeah, nothing to do with this blue light.
Right. Fascinating theory.
Or they could be the same person, and that's why the merchant wears a mask.
Right.
What do you think of that? Do you like that?
I do. I think it's.
So we're going to do our own little spin-off. Well, yeah, we could do a little
Because you never
episode.
see them both at the same time.
Exactly. And after Sadler dies, you never see
You
the
never see the
merchant
merchant
again.
again.
You never see me and Brad Pitt together, but it doesn't mean I'm also Brad Pitt.
Yeah, but neither of you wears a mask.
Yeah.
I'm. Yeah.
Yeah, but do you and Brad Pitt hang out in the same places?
The planet Earth, yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Mostly eat kind of food, like molecules and stuff like that.
Well, let's talk about Sadler. Easiest boss in the game?
Easiest boss in the game. So yeah, it just there was so many bits of him hit though. There was lots of eyes.
Yeah,
They're
you knew
very
you-
obsessed
you
with
knew-
the
and
eyes.
the thing is,
You
those
knew
eyes
what to hit.
exploded every time you hit them, so
Yeah.
you knew you were killing them.
Thumbs up.
And there was lots of those little flying things and stuff like that. But I just ignored them.
The U2s.
They're the U2s,
They're
right?
the
The
U2s.
U2s. The ones that disguise themselves as singers in cowboy hats.
So as we're talking about U2 and Sadlers, Tom, can you play how many times we said that's a Sadler? But you don't have
That's
that
not
quick.
happening.
There's a lot of Sadler.
Yeah, we said that a lot of times.
I think you said it more
I
than...
said it.
It got
plenty of
old
times.
pretty quick.
Especially when it turned out that
That the
the
person we thought was
thought
Sadler.
was Sadler wasn't Sadler, it was Mendez.
That's a Sadler. It was really...
Poor Jasper.
It was disappointing, wasn't it? Yeah, Sadler was actually disappointing anyway. That boss,
I still think at some point during the game when you saw him, you should have been able to shoot that eye thing on his staff and it killed him.
wanted to end the game.
Well, yeah, you still got to go and get Ashley and run away and stuff because like the rest of them dying about like they were. But yeah,
You just walk through the game.
backwards. But you only see him at a certain point. But I mean, you could chuck an egg at Salazar and almost kill him. So why not?
There's a logic there.
Definitely
There is a logic.
That's a why not logic. Okay.
Can't you do that on Metal Gear Solid, one of the Metal Gears? You can
Don't.
kill one of the...
It's too stealthy for me.
It is for me as well. But I'm sure you can kill one of the bosses early on.
And, it just
And
doesn't
then
appear.
later on...
It makes it easier. Like you don't fight it.
Yeah.
Oh. Maybe onto something.
There wouldn't have been any more bosses if we did kill them, though. It would have made the game a lot faster.
It sounds like this is the tone exactly. You sound like you didn't want to play the game.
Well, yeah, you see, that's not true. I enjoyed.
I know.
So if we were to rate them, the remakes of them all, 4 would be top of the list. 2, 1, 3.
Okay, I think I'll go 4, 1, 2, 3. What have you got?
That.
Yeah. Tom?
3. He loves 3. Always loves
Always 3.
Was the least to edit.
Always loves
The
3.
shortest game.
I quite like the 4-1, the fourth. Yeah.
Then the first one.
No, I like the second one.
Oh, you Mick.
The first one was just Mick walking into walls.
Oh, the way Mick played it wasn't.
Oh yeah,
just entertaining.
purely from an editing
No,
point of view.
yeah.
You know?
I don't think our episodes were as entertaining, but I think it's the game. And then we had that weird lift guy. What's he called? Verdugo.
Oh, Verdugo.
Which became U3. And U3 was a boss from the first one that was cut. And then this guy became U3.
I don't even remember fighting this guy in the game at all.
So it was kind of like Alien, wasn't it? Where he came down from the
I still
from
don't
the
remember it.
pipes, and he had a big long tail, a body, and then just like a skull head. And you just kept running around and waiting for a lift, and then you put ice on him, and he'd freeze, and then you'd run around. And
Nitrogen.
so what
nitrous oxide.
I read about him because I couldn't really remember much about him
Yeah,
either.
you never see him again.
He is one of the Salazar's henchmen. No, the big hench dudes that stand next to him.
All right, okay.
That's one. He's
Oh,
one
is
of
he?
them.
Did we ever fight the other one of them?
Nope. And I think in the original, he fuses with Salazar, the other one, to become like a
Hopefully not from
creature.
behind.
Fuse from behind. It's not the 80s.
Fair.
Yeah, so that's supposed to be one of them, and it was all a trap to catch you there. But it is weird how that creature just disappears after that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever find that? I can't think of other games where you fight something and run away, and then that's it, and he doesn't appear later.
Yeah.
Isn't that odd?
Innocent...
Especially not in a Resident Evil game, anyway. Because
Yeah,
you didn't kill him. You just disappeared from him.
He just disappeared and never came back. Where was he? How did you get away from him?
I didn't realise he was one of the henchmen as well, so...
I didn't until I've researched it.
Like, where did the other one go, then?
Yeah.
Because it was only a couple of bits where you saw the two of them with him, and they were huge boys, like...
Yeah, and then they take their coat off.
I
and
don't
they're
want to
like,
fight with them.
But yeah, so there's creatures. It's very unlikely, and again, there's creatures that you don't fight
Because
You
they're
don't-
also
that
with
doesn't
Salazar
happen,
at one.
does it?
They're also with Salazar at one point
At
as
the
well.
very beginning, there with
Yeah.
Salazar, there's the two of them. They look like Goombas from the Mario movie.
They look a bit like Goombas from the live-action movie.
So maybe when you were in the lift, you did the do, and they all danced. That's the bit that we didn't get. That's the bonus.
That's because I went right instead of left. Damn it. There
So-
were a few moans about the game.
Oh, okay.
The weapons lying around everywhere.
Oh, yes, I agree with you.
There was weapons everywhere. Big knives, machetes. There was just stuff everywhere that you could have picked up and used as a weapon.
That bit with Luis, where all your weapons have been taken away, then you're looking around the room and there's an axe and,
Yep.
and a big machete, and you go, just pick them up. Just pick them up.
I mean, again, it would have been a problem that they would have had to make all of the weapons pick up a ball.
Yeah, I don't
But
think they should
don't
have.
put them in.
Yeah, just don't put them in. Just don't put them in the first place.
They don't serve any purpose apart from going, well, I should be able to pick that up because I don't have a weapon. I want a weapon, that's a weapon. Yeah.
Well, speaking of weapons, have you got it's a flash one? This was a question by Captain Alrac.
I'm sorry, Mick, but I really have to ask you one question.
Go for it.
That's been bugging me since Resident Evil 2. Yeah. Flash grenades. Why don't you like to use flash grenades?
I forget.
They are single-handedly one of the best tools in the entire game.
I just forget.
There you go, I forget. Forget I've got them.
So-
I get two involved in shooting and missing.
We discussed with Captain Anorak that you didn't even know that you could throw grenades in the first game.
Oh, in the first game, yeah.
You didn't think that you thought they were a defence weapon.
Yeah, I thought you shoved them in the mouth for some reason. Again, it's about
Because you could. You thought that's all they were there for.
And caught up
A
in
grenade.
doing what I was doing. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
But I just
but
didn't
we
think it
found
was
out. We found out in this at the very end, about 4 episodes in, that when they're exposed and the big creatures are out of the head, if you use a flash grenade, they die instantly.
Wow.
Yeah, I think
And there's a
it's-
bit where we're stuck in the house with Luis, where there's 4 of them coming up, and Mick goes to his inventory and goes past the flash grenade, and he could have killed 4 at the same time.
Yeah, one go.
But I can see you thinking that's like non-lethal, aren't they?
Well, that's exactly I get that they would blind them, but I would not expect them to have killed them straight away. Obviously.
Because
Till we actually did it, and I found out they did it.
and it has it in a note that we both read, and neither of us
I mean,
thought.
So as I
dear.
explained on the rest of that question that it wasn't put
Which
on
we'll
there,
put out
was
at some point on one of the podcast feeds.
that I don't. Although I sit and I read through the things, I spend so much time concentrating on them to not sound like I can't read. Because I often sound like I can't speak, but I don't want to look totally like I can't read. So I'm very careful, and I'll see a word and I'll be going round in my head that one word as I'm reading up to that word. And usually I get it, but yeah, so I don't actually pay attention to anything that's in those notes.
Yeah, so it says they are
They're afraid of light.
damaged by light.
I think
And
it says they're-
so we decided that must just be the merchant's light that he carries around.
Because also you use
Your
it.
logic's
Well, you use the
crazy.
light as Ashley as well.
Yeah, but this was before that.
Yeah, but
So
as you
this
get to it-
reaffirms it. This reaffirmed our
So
theory.
not long after it, we were Ashley, and there's another Moan was playing as Ashley. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
We probably should have just given the control to me at that point, though. We talked about that, and
Yeah.
retrospectively, we probably should, because I would have been terrible at that bit.
Might have been a longer.
And we've
ago.
been told since that all you have to do is run. As long as you run, you can't be hit.
Oh really?
Yeah, as long as you're moving, you can't be hit. Because she's faster than their movement. So unless you run into a corner,
All right. Okay.
as long as you're moving in a straight line, they can't hit you.
I mean, I didn't mind that bit as much as I minded in Resident Evil 2 playing as Ada with a silly weapon, or not a real weapon.
But Ada was back.
Ada was back, yes. Ada was back and helping us out where she could.
Certain times.
Exciting times.
One more bad guy about his regenerators.
I did not like the regenerators at all.
No. That
It was too much to put the heat scope on, find out where the hearts was, shoot one of the hearts, run away a little bit, bring the scope back up, shoot another one of the hearts, especially with my aim.
I found
It wasn't a weapon I liked using. Sometimes you were at quite close quarters as well.
something I was going to talk about. How is the change in pace throughout the game? There was moments where it's action slow, minecart slow, all these little bits. That bit was the first bit where it felt like a classic survival horror.
Oh, yeah.
When that first appears, and every time you kill it, it just grows all its limbs back and
Yeah,
keeps
you
going.
think you've killed it, and it was like it would slide along the ground towards you,
Yeah.
and then jump back up again.
And you did like a belly flop as well, didn't he?
Yeah,
Like he
yeah.
jumped forward.
The worm almost. He was doing the worm.
And yeah, I did not like those guys
No.
because that made that intense where you were running, turning on doors and electricity.
Yeah.
But they were. We say we don't like them, but they were good for the game. That's the thing. A lot of the time, the really good features we hate because it becomes
they're
hard and scary.
Because they're hard. Yeah.
Speaking of hard and scary,
Yeah.
Pigman.
Oh, Pigman.
I don't know if you've seen this clip yet, Ross, but at one point we did the right thing. We found that there was a pigman hiding behind a door.
Expecting us to open the door and be
so
faced
we
with him.
took our shot and shot him. We set up a trap thinking he comes through that door, he'll come through that door, there's a barrel ready, we'll blow him up. Oh, there he is. It's just him. It's just that cunt there.
Oh, it's
Oh, it's a pigman. Shit. Oh, yeah, barrel. Barrel of fun. Should I roll that? Why wouldn't he? There's no other way in, is there?
no. Glad I didn't. Was there a door there?
Oh, he's coming up.
Oh yeah, boy! Ah!
That was horrible. That was the worst. Now. Fucking hell. So that was a moment that was not planned by the developers in any way, but it's absolutely perfect.
So we assumed he just got there, and at the moment we turned around, he had just got up the ladder, which we didn't know was there. Because the logic was there that you're supposed to go through that door and open it, and he's there. But then we afterwards realised that it was downstairs.
But it was
and
the fact that as you turned, he's standing, just standing, doing nothing, which is like something that would happen in a set-up moment. But the fact he's just standing there, which we've realised was actually just the end of his animation of him coming up the ladders.
And hadn't
As
started
we turned,
his next
so he
one.
hadn't started his next animation, so it was just timed perfectly. I don't think I jumped any more than that. That was the bit, because it wasn't planned and there was no build up to it, and it was horrible. I didn't like it.
I thought I had him.
It wasn't the highest you've jumped though.
No, this is my favourite.
The highest jump was with the tower.
Another tower.
What the fucking ladder?
Oh, there was a church bell. I was a total guess there'd be a church bell, like. Oh!
You actually jumped out of shot.
Did I? It was, yeah, it gave me a fright. I think I was just so relieved at that point that bit was over after dying a couple
I've
of
read
times.
that loads of people get caught on that bit, but I think it was the timing you got caught because you heard the bell and decided you were safe.
Yeah, I think that was it, yeah.
Really
and then fell
helped.
through. Yeah. I assume that other people have hit that bit at different times
Yeah.
before
I
the bell.
I don't think you would have been that shocked if you were running away and then
I
fell
still
through.
think I would have shit myself.
Not like that though, because you could see in your face you just relaxed. You're like, oh, I've done it.
Honestly, that moment I felt like the whole game was over. Because I did die a few times at that first village and it was stressful going into that. And then...
I think you said, if this is normal, I have to go to easy to be off camera, because like we said at the very beginning of this, that it hits you so hard so early.
And you have to done it though, because it means I've finished it. I would never have finished the game.
Yeah, I
wouldn't have finished it. I'd have got so far through it and it would have just sat in my pile of games saying, no, not playing it. Game's in the freezer.
I think this roundup has followed the same pattern as the game, where it feels like we're complaining, but it was a really good game.
Oh no, the game was enjoyable. It looked great. There was a couple of moments through it where there was a couple of glitches. The floor being one of them.
And the floor disappeared. That was fun.
It made it really hard to see where you were going. But the game itself, there was so many different styles within it, as you said, with the survival horror aspect about 3/4 of the way through, with like the maze bit and things like that. That wasn't enjoyable, but it was a different part. The minecart one where you're shooting from the minecart
Makes no sense as a mine.
It doesn't make any sense, but they have to throw one in. The puzzle aspect again, which was more in the maze, where there was more puzzles.
Yeah, and those weird little
which was
press the buttons when the regenerators are right behind you.
Yes, and in action there was many different layers.
Your favourite bit, the little speedboat thing at the end.
The little speedboat bit.
Yeah, you loved that bit. Your face lit up when you realised you were doing a racer. Racing to the end.
And I did enjoy like stabbing people on a ladder, at the top of the ladder.
Yeah. That's not what that action was.
It was stabbing them. They must have been stabbed.
I do feel like I've talked loads about this game, but I'm not gonna. I think we need to kind of come to a close there. I'm sure we'll talk about it many other times on things.
How do you think
this is the standard now?
5's going to go, Ross?
I'm playing.
Yeah.
Cooperatively.
From my memory, it's excellent game. So I'll be interested to see. But it's the first non-remastered one you're playing.
Yeah.
So it's going to be the product that come out when? How old is it?
Must be 2009, maybe.
Yeah, so I was down here. So yeah, it probably was about then.
Yeah, so they are. I don't know if they haven't announced a remaster of it, but I think they probably will remaster it. And we were talking about this a while back. Will they remaster 6 to fix it? Will they just make a new 6, or will they just?
Yeah, as opposed to remaster.
Where would you
Remake it.
begin? There's a problem with 5 though as well. It was quite controversial because they claimed that it was racist.
Okay.
So if they remake it, it will be interesting what they do in around that.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
You haven't played it at all, have you?
I've played a bit of 5 up to a
I'd
certain
be
point.
interested to see what you think.
But 6 I haven't touched. Because I didn't enjoy 5.
I'm really worried about 6.
Yeah, I think what you're thinking about, maybe he's looking at a streamlined way of playing it, of just a taste of some of the missions or something.
Oh, do you want to quickly talk about how excited I was when I got a B grading?
Oh yeah, I think you got
Came
a
up-
B, overall B.
A B.
I found out about this. Yeah.
And then it turns out the B is the worst grade, like the final grade. I thought it'd be a C.
Yeah, well, that's natural.
Because it used to be
You're definitely a
S,
C.
A, B, C.
Uh-huh.
And when it came up B, I was like, yes, I wasn't a C. And then found out it wasn't a C. And I was just pretty stinking. But
You finished the game.
I
That's
finished
all
the
you
game.
need,
That's
like-
all,
Yeah,
On
and not on
normal
easy.
as well.
Yes, exactly.
On normal. If I was doing it myself, I would have done it on easy.
And you've given hours of entertainment. for
Hours of
viewers.
entertainment to
To
who?
who?
Viewer.
Bye, Captain Anorak. Let's go.
Yeah.
Say goodbye.
Bye.
Hi, Bry here. So it seems throughout the recording the table was slowly escaping me. You may have noticed that I had to pull it back a few times. I don't think that was my fault. I think Mik's floor was a bit too smooth that day. But here's a quick recap of how the table went. Thanks for watching.